Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Thanks so much for tuning in for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. A stationary front is going to dance around our region through at least Thursday night this week, bringing us higher rain chances, more clouds, solid humidity, but tame temperatures for this time of year. So let's discuss all the details as we look forward to maybe some beneficial rains this week as well. That's kind of the silver lining. I'm Kenman Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Please check us out anytime, 24/7. My PM update is there at the top with stray showers tonight, but greater rain chances tomorrow, potentially adding up to a full inch by sunrise on Tuesday. But there is an outside chance tomorrow and maybe most days this work week that some of too much of a good thing does come together. We could see patchy flooding from some heavier downpours, but we are generally drought stricken in much of the region. So we need to take what we can get, and these look like beneficial rains overall. Another benefit of a stationary front nearby this week is tame temperatures, especially for July. An outside chance we don't even hit 90 degrees this week. Can you believe it? Hey, Ron, thanks for tuning in from YouTube. And Tony, thanks for tuning in from X. And we could see some rain on Monday. I wouldn't call it a washout, but earlier tomorrow is better if you have an earlier commute. Paul, thanks so much for tuning in from Facebook. And David, you as well. Good seeing you. Jenny, Ammo, JM, Jeffrey, good to see you on and Cheeky and Misha. So many of you on Instagram as well. I'm live on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and X, all four of our social media channels tonight. Good evening, Mary. Thanks so much for tuning in there on Instagram. Good evening, Peter and Kristen. Happy Sunday. This is our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. This week features beneficial rain, high-ish humidity, tame temperatures, and really just beneficial rains is the main silver lining highlight from the stationary front in the region. All right, let's check out the precipitation pattern this week. We could have generally afternoon and evening thunderstorms, showers and thunderstorms, downpours Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe spilling over with a lesser thunderstorm chance on Friday, but showers could still be around on Friday. Should clear out for the weekend there at the end of the animation there on the top. Clouds are also going to dominate this week. We could see a peak of sunshine on Tuesday, which we'll get into, maybe increasing the chances for severe weather on Tuesday. Maybe our highest chances for still generally limited severe weather on Tuesday. There is even tonight one strong storm near Andrews Air Force Base. So there just are locally intense storms that are possible anytime this week until we can finally clear out into later Friday into the weekend, it looks like. All right, let's see. We've got 7-day rain amounts, which are pretty darn beneficial. I wish we could, push a little bit toward the west some of these higher rain amounts, but an inch and a half, even in the I-81 corridor, which is where we really need this rain. It's drought stricken, especially. It's extreme D3 drought in the red there in northwestern Virginia, the upper I-81 corridor there, parts of kind of where the states come together, West Virginia, Maryland, and Virginia right there. That is where we need the greatest amounts of rain. Now, we don't want it all at once, and that's why we're keeping a slight eye on the potential for flooding downpours this week, and even the slight chance for severe weather anytime this work week. Monday through Thursday, it looks like we could see one or two strong storms pop up. The greatest chance for maybe a few organized damaging wind gusts with the thunderstorms comes in on Tuesday. This is the Tuesday map here. And yellow indicates maybe the most elevated, but still not major severe storm chance for Tuesday. The trick is the sunshine could pop out midday Tuesday into Tuesday afternoon. This, like a convection oven, it's the heat source. It bubbles and percolates the atmosphere, really cashing in on the instability and maybe developing more than, one or two storms. We could have a cluster or line of storms with the potential for some very localized damaging wind gusts, perhaps. So we'll need to watch that, especially Monday through Thursday, yes, but especially on Tuesday this week. All right, the dew points are going to be pretty muggy and gross this week, maybe just less than oppressive. That's the good news. The deepest purples that are 75-degree dew points and above, those generally stay away from us this week. But along and east of I-95 have the greatest chance for discomfort this week. I think 70 to 75 degree dew points, 70 to 74 degree dew points are to be expected Monday through Thursday, if not maybe a little bit on Friday this week. But a break does come in for this weekend, so just be prepared. With these beneficial rains comes discomfort in the form of humidity. This isn't a headline issue this week because temperatures are generally comfortable. Well, it's July. They're tame for July in the 80s to maybe around 90 degrees. An outside chance we don't hit 90, but the heat index values and overall, dangerous discomfort, that's so far staying in the rear view mirror for kind of the time being this week. So we'll take what we can get, high humidity, but at least subdued-ish temperatures, kind of near normal for July. So yes, uncomfortable, but not oppressive and dangerous. So that's something to keep in mind this week. Humidity does accompany the rain chances. All right, we could see with a slight chance, leaning, slight probability we see next work week. Good precipitation, above average precipitation for next work week as well. A stronger signal, moderate confidence, moderate probability that we do see above average temperatures next work week. And that's something we've been kind of watching, looking ahead to, and seeing maybe 90 degrees and hotter is possible again for next work week compared to maybe escaping without a 90-degree reading this work week. So if you are a hot weather lover, look ahead to next work week. I think we will be in better shape for you hot summer weather lovers. And the heat tracker stands at 30 today. So we've had plenty of heat. So I would argue we deserve a small break from our serious heat of 90 or higher. But so far, you can see the heat tracker. We have that at capitalweathergang.com. Anytime you want to check it, it's under my PM update, which I put out a few hours ago as well on the blog. Elsewhere, pollen is generally under control, but we do have mold mildew spores here on this side. I can point to it. There we go. A little bit high in the region, and that could get higher with the expected humidity and rain chances this week. Mold and mildew love moisture. And above us is kind of an smoke at altitude. Not too much smoke from Canadian wildfires is expected to make it to the surface to really majorly affect air quality this week, but it's something we want to watch, and I just wanted to let you know at capitalweathergang.com we are following the Canadian wildfires and the smoke it is sending. Potentially, maybe near the end of this week, we could have to face a little bit more. But air quality so far in the coming days looks to be kind of in the yellow moderate range, and Canadian wildfire smoke, while maybe producing some haze at times, higher up in the sky, luckily staying away from surface air quality issues, but it could take away, even when we do see, some peaks of sunshine off and on this week, it could create some haze in the atmosphere as well. All right, here it is, the forecast at a glance directly above me. Further above is my PM update. Very slight chance for downpours tomorrow to turn extra heavy. We could use the rain, but there is a chance we go into too much of a good thing too fast, and patchy flooding is possible. Though I agree with the National Weather Service assessment that flash flooding is a very low probability given the dry soils and the drought throughout our region. All right, we've got Marie. Good to see you. Thanks, and I love giving you a rain forecast as well. Thanks for tuning in from Facebook. David, I love to see the beneficial rain as well. And David, it does limit the flooding chance. That's a great question. The dry soils and the drought conditions do limit our flooding chances, especially flash flooding chances. The soil is ready to absorb. Now, urban areas like Baltimore and downtown DC have just urban drainage issues. If we do see over an inch an hour, sometimes that can back up the drainage systems in an urban environment. All right. I think if you're heading to North Carolina this weekend, Paul, you should be in pretty decent shape. And tropics, speaking of those maybe going to the Outer Banks as well in North Carolina, tropics are looking pretty quiet until about maybe 10 days from now, July 31st into early August. So tropics are quiet as well. MC and Rez and Mika, thanks for tuning in there on Instagram. Let me see if Tara and Kat, thanks for tuning in as well. DSJ, DJS, Linda, Lear, Author, Linz, Pragmatic, Lillian, and Foxtrot, and JNC Morales just tuned in, and hopefully you heard my answer that tropics are looking quiet, but the Caribbean could ramp back up maybe July 31st into early August. So we're good for about 10 days as it looks now. The National Hurricane Center gives no has is not tracking anything at least for the next 7 days. And I've tried to look further ahead that we're I think generally the signals are good for about 10 more days from now until about the 31st. Then we'll maybe start keeping an eye on things a little closer. So please have a good time in Florida. All right, I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X. Anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. This is our weekly 20-minute chat. I'm on the air another 10 minutes. We're at the halfway mark. Tyler on Instagram is talking about the Andrew storm. Indeed, if you're looking from Alexandria, I'm sure you see that intense storm near Andrews Air Force Base. A stray shower storm is possible this evening, and that one decided to get a little bit intense with some heavy rain. Maybe I didn't check the detailed reports, but there's a chance for small hail and maybe some wind gusts near 55, 60 miles per hour. So, uh, Pew fan, thanks for tuning in. You're most welcome there on Instagram. And Alex and Jessica, thanks for tuning in as well. And Harry tuned in from Instagram. Donna, good to see you on Facebook. And Donna, really appreciate seeing you there in Iowa. I didn't have a chance to look at detailed Iowa weather, but you are going to be generally warm and humid this week as well. And Charlene, wow, you're having a great vegetable harvest. I'm glad someone is seeing the right mix of heat, dry, and rain. That's hard to get, right? And I think some hydrangeas are benefiting from the interesting combo this year as well in the northeastern United States. Jessica, good seeing you, and Jen, and Utpol, and Potts, and Lextarnia, and Jenny. All right. Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Let's go through the week. PM update there at the top. Forecast at a glance graphically just above me. Slightest risk for heavy downpours turning into patchy flooding tomorrow, just to keep that in the back of your mind. But these are overall beneficial rains this week. Stationary front through at least Thursday, keeping humidity high, rain chances elevated, keeping temperatures kind of tame for July, kind of a little subdued. Outside chance we don't even see 90 degrees this week, but I think peaks of sun this time of year we still have a strong sun, but I think on Tuesday peaks of sun could maybe amplify our a slight severe storm risk that we have for most of this work week. In the very kind of background sense, one or two storms being, strong or intense maybe this week, but overall Tuesday could have maybe a few instead of one or two. And that comes with the sunshine that is still strong, could percolate the atmosphere, especially on Tuesday. But overall, I think besides Tuesday, we may stay below 90 degrees this week. I'm trying to find some silver linings with the stationary front, bringing us beneficial rains for Monday through Thursday, maybe some showers staying into Friday. Looks clear for the weekend around our area. Clouds are also dominant as this quasi-stationary front dances north and south throughout the region, but not going to complain. We can use this precipitation and the amounts look good. This could be a little bit bullish, but I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. I've seen enough of the different weather modeling systems throughout the next few days. Give us an inch, inch and a half, even in the driest areas, which desperately need it. West and northwest of town, but 2.5 inches of rain kind of along and east of I-95 is not out of the question. So there is a little bit of relief for our D3 extreme drought in the red there. In the center part, kind of the upper I-81 corridor, parts of the Shenandoah Valley, where water restrictions are occurring. And outside chance, along with our rain chances, Monday through Thursday do have one or two, intense storms developing, just to keep that in the back of your mind. Tuesday may deserve a little more of a look. We could have, instead of one or two, maybe a few severe storms with damaging wind gusts over 57 miles per hour. Just something that's, part of the mixture this week. If we do see elevated sunshine levels mixing with instability in the stationary front on Tuesday, that could be the right set of ingredients for a little more elevation in the slight severe storm risk this week. All right, dew points are going to be high, muggy, gross, uncomfortable. 70 to 75 degree range seems possible, especially along and east of I-95, Monday through Thursday. Again, that's our theme this week. The stationary front might not get kicked out of here until Friday or into the weekend. It looks with higher confidence dry and more comfortable by the weekend, but Friday could still be a transition day. But Monday through Thursday are the highest chances for elevated humidity, elevated rain chances, slight, severe storm risk, subdued temperatures. That's all part of our mixture this week. It's an interesting combo, but we need this welcome rain. I think if we have to pay the price with some elevated, uncomfortable dew points, that's, if the atmosphere needs that moisture to rain on us, so be it, right? Next work week, we have still a slight indication for above average precipitation, more moderate signal for above average temperatures, and that could bring us more 90-degree readings if we, outside chance, avoid any 90-degree days this week. But today was our 30th day of the year of 90 degrees or better. Let's see, we've got outside kind of the main weather avenues. We've got smoke to consider about air quality this week and pollen for my fellow allergy sufferers. Generally tame, except in the mold and mildew category here at the end. Moisture in the atmosphere and rains this week could keep mold a little bit elevated and high as well. And smoke, though I wanted to illustrate, it is at altitude, kind of high above us in the atmosphere this week from Canadian wildfires that we are following. So far, we have no concerns, maybe a little bit more concern of smoke getting to the surface by the end of this week and creating some air quality issues. But so far, it looks like we're kind of yellow, moderate air quality, which is not a big deal for this week. So that's great news. All right, PM update there at the very top. Forecast at a glance here, just above my hat. And a slight chance, very slight chance, for some downpours to cause patchy flooding tomorrow. And much of this week, we kind of have the potential for like very localized heavy downpours, especially in urban areas. That's where the risk is already there. And so it doesn't take as much of a heavy downpour in Baltimore or downtown DC to create some flooding issues. But our soils, if you're in a more suburban or rural area, the soils are ready to receive this beneficial rain this week, thereby in those areas really reducing flooding risk this week. But it's something just to keep in the back of your mind that we could have a little too much of a good thing too quickly Monday through Thursday this week. So just stay tuned. Stay a little weather aware, and remember, turn around, don't drown. If you encounter a water covered pathway forward, please turn back. Nanda, thanks for tuning in on Instagram. Rabaro, MP, and Wong, and KT, and the Patterson, and Samantha. Make sure I did not miss any questions or comments here on Instagram. Kaylin, you're most welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Chris Robbins, thanks for tuning in there on Instagram as well. Let me check Facebook, X, YouTube as well. I'm on all four of our social media channels tonight for CapitalWeatherGang.com. I'm Camden Walker. Jack, no major signals for the fall just yet. I know everyone's anxious to jump to the next season just yet, but we'll keep you posted when we have greater signals and greater confidence in the seasonal forecast for the fall at capitalweathergang.com. Stay tuned closer to September, Labor Day. Hopefully, we can give you a better idea. Lewis, Front Royal, indeed. I think they have some water restrictions. Yep, mandatory water restrictions there, which it's not good west of town, to say the least. The drought is the highest there, D3, severe drought. Let me pull that up for you. It is not good around Front Royal. Shenandoah County has water restrictions as well. Strasburg, I believe. Um, and Jack, indeed, a giant humidifier sounds perfect for this week with these dew point. The dew point scale this week is going to be in the 70 to 75 degree range, pretty darn uncomfortable. David, so far, no tornadoes have been discussed in relation to the severe, very slight severe threat Monday through Thursday this week. In particular focus, of course, we'll watch Tuesday. If we do see as much sun as is possible on Tuesday, this could be the greatest, but still not great severe weather threat this week. Mainly straight line winds or downbursts from thunderstorms, wet microbursts as they're called. If we see downpours kind of bring down some of the elevated winds at like a slight altitude above the ground, those could slam down against the surface. Maybe we see one or two wet microbursts, and those are still damaging wind gusts in a way over 57 miles per hour. That's kind of the threshold for damaging winds potentially with some downpours on Tuesday. But again, one or two strong, intense storms possible Monday through Thursday this week. But Tuesday in particular, we'll keep an extra slight eye on those on that time frame. All right, temperatures this week do stay subdued. That's one benefit of all the clouds. The humidity actually does help absorb the sun's energy before it goes into heating the air molecules. Water vapor generally kind of absorbs some of the infrared from the sun. So with clouds, the stationary front producing shower storms, we just have slight benefit temperatures, maybe we don't hit 90 degrees this week. I don't want to overpromise, but there's a chance that Tuesday right here with the greatest amount of sunshine as it looks so far this work week, that we could see 90 degrees this week. All right, so let's look at the precipitation animation. I'm on the air just another little bit here. We do have this beneficial rain Monday through Thursday this week, maybe spilling into Friday a little bit. Clouds dominate, but we need the 7 day amounts of rain. Most of this falls, through Thursday night. But an inch and a half in the driest areas is great news. 2.5, 3 inches of rain south and east of town is good, but not placed perfectly for where we need it. That's where the least amount of drought happens to be. So there is this geographic persistence of where kind of the what is it, the west areas stay wet, the driest areas stay drier, but I can't argue that in an absolute term, like an inch and a half of rain in a drought region over a few days' time is generally really good news. So slight chance this week, Monday through Thursday, for severe weather, with maybe a little more elevation of a chance there on Tuesday. So we'll keep you posted on that during the work week this week. And again, humidity comes with these rain chances. And again, next work week could be hot, could be a little rainy again, maybe humid as well. And maybe, if we avoid somehow hitting 90 degrees this week, we've had 30 on the heat tracker, but it looks like a decent chance to add some more to that next work week. All right, before I go, Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Thanks for tuning in to our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. Yep, outside chance we see some flooding downpours this week, but the soils are really dry and ready for this beneficial rain. Inch and a half possible northwest of town, 2.5, 3.5 inches of possible of rain of southeast of town. April, thanks for tuning in. And then Ruth Lisa, yes, a slight chance for some downpours and storms tomorrow and through Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And Ruth Lisa, good seeing you. And if you can go earlier, the better in the day tomorrow for your appointments. David, you're most welcome. I have really good seeing you until next week as well. Liz, you're most welcome. All right. And Wita, thanks for tuning in on Instagram. Paige and Leo and Nikki and Eugene, I appreciate seeing all of you on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, and Facebook, X, YouTube, and Instagram. And CB Black throwing me a good snow week. I wish we could have some snow in the forecast to deal with this humidity, but luckily the heat is very subdued this week with an outside chance we don't even hit 90 degrees. All right, everyone, may you see the beneficial rains you need this week. And please stay safe with the very slight risk of severe weather, slight risk of some flooding this week, mainly focused on urban environments, downtown areas of Baltimore and DC. But I'll talk with you next week for a weekly